Hello, guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. I greet you all according to your time. That's the time you will be watching this video. I greet you according to that time. Guys, I'm called Favor. If it's the first time you are seeing this pretty girl, please don't forget to subscribe and please don't forget to hit the notification button so that each time I'll upload a new video, you'll be the first person to be notified. Guys, today I'm going to be talking about, okay, last time I spoke or I said something about the ladies. Yeah, I was talking to the men. It was about the ladies, so I was referring to the men, like the kind of woman they shouldn't go in for to marry. So today I'm going to be telling us about the kind of man, that I'm talking to us, the ladies, the single ladies, the kind of men or man we shouldn't go in for as a husband, no matter how far, how long we've been in that relationship. If we find such characters in them, we should just rethink about going ahead for marriage with them. And if you are a guy watching me today, please don't continue with such character. If you have or you find yourself in any of these characters, please try to rethink and see and do try to change from the characters, so that, because if ladies start realizing that guys like you can fuck them up, like he can't walk, or if tomorrow you get married, things are not going to work out well, they'll start being afraid of you. I know there are a lot of ladies that have gotten into such marriages because they didn't have orientation. But today I want to tell you that be very careful, men, how you behave, because nowadays ladies are learning a lot and they come to understand a lot of things. So be very careful with some of the attitude that you portray towards your girls. So I want to say that I will be very brief, and I'm just going to be mentioning about 4 points about the kind of man you shouldn't marry. So guys, we'll get right into the main video. Okay, guys, the first point is a man who cares more about your past. Yeah, okay, now you're in a relationship with a guy and all he's talking about or considering is your past. Like, he has been with you and didn't know that maybe you went through a kind of lifestyle before you people met, and by the time you start telling him, or maybe he finds out about you, he finds out that maybe you were dating this guy, you've dated maybe one or two guys before, maybe you had a character that wasn't a good character then, he starts like using it against you. Yeah, no matter the kind of love that you have for such a guy, please don't go ahead to marry that guy, because all the guy sees is your fault, like what you did back at the past. Like, what he concentrates is on what has passed. And you as a guy, why do you think that is possible? Like, you are talking about something that didn't concern you. That's the lady's past. You were not in her past. Yeah, you were not there, you didn't know what was happening. That now you are coming in, and what you should focus on is on the future. That's focus on what the future holds for you and the person. That's the person's past, and I know the past is no longer the present, neither is the present the future. I want us to look something. There's this passage in the Bible that is about, or yeah, it's from the book of Hosea. Now, Hosea was looking for a wife and it was time for him to get married. Do you know the kind of wife that Hosea saw, or is Hosea? The kind of wife he saw was a prostitute. And when he saw this wife, he didn't consider the fact that this lady has been a prostitute before. All what he saw in that lady is the future, how the future is going to look for the two of them. Yeah, he didn't consider the fact that how can I get married to a lady who has once been a prostitute? No, that is not what he considered. He considered what he sees ahead, and he was seeing that the two of them can make a good future. So that is what you see in someone. And if God, who created us, didn't look into our past, he forgive our sins, who are you to be looking on a lady's past? Girls, if you have that kind of a man living with, or with whom you are in a relationship with, please just try to run away from him, because such a man will keep like trying to hurt you all the times. if you do something, he's going to go to your past. Yeah, that is why you were living this kind of a life. Those are the kind of words he will be telling you, which you will not like to hear. So girls, be very careful with this kind of guys. Yeah, if you see such a guy just coming beside you, just know that he's a saint or an agent, because it can't work. Like somebody knows that you are bleed, and I mean, you are a human being. You are a human, he is a human. But the reason why I'm saying this is because some guys just think that they should be the only people who are gone through a lot, or they have fault, or they are humans, or they should have a past. Like if they hear that a lady had a past, or the lady did this in the past, they're like, ah, that's not the kind of lady I'm looking for. It's not the kind of lady you want to marry, like the person is still living in that. No. And there are some ladies that you can meet in that kind of a situation. If you like the lady, I'm sure if you two understand each other, the lady might decide to leave that because of you. Yeah, so it shouldn't be because maybe the lady, you heard that the lady was doing this, the lady has been moving up and down, she has had a boyfriend before and all of that, you feel that you're going to be using that against her. Yeah, you love this girl, but when you think of the fact that she has lived this kind of a lie, or she's not a virgin, she's not the kind of girl that you thought she was, like, yeah, she's not the kind of person you thought, that she has never lived this kind of a life. And now that you come to realize, you just love her beauty, you just love the way she is, and you think you can manage. And why thinking that you can manage her, you keep using such words on her. Maybe if you guys have a misunderstanding. So please don't try to do this. If you see a girl you love, no matter the past that the girl had, forget about the past, focus on the present, and look at what the future holds for you and that girl. So girls, please, if you have such a guy and you just try it once or twice, just give a damn to him. Okay guys, the second point is, don't marry a man who is lazy. Yeah, there are some guys who are too lazy. Some of them, especially these ones that are educated, they have the certificate, they have a degree, they have gone to school. They feel like all is about school and their certificates. So they see that they don't see themselves going to do menial jobs, like maybe doing building, maybe anything that can fetch you money, like a handwork. They feel like that is not a job for educated persons. So they are just there, they stay like that, they don't care, they just stay begging money, begging from their parents. You can't imagine, you see an old man, you see a very very big man, 30 years, you are still begging from your parents. Even 25 years, I bet you, is not correct. At that age, you should be able to help your parents. Like, you should be able to have something to take care of your own self. Not to talk of, you've reached that age that you want to marry and you still don't have something doing. There should be something that is helping you, that you can even afford to give a girl. Just like you decide to get married, and no, I don't want to live my life carelessly and I just want to get married. Okay, you decide that yes, now you want to get married, but you'll not be having kids because you don't even have a job. But at least there should be something that you can even be able to take care of your wife and yourself. Girls, if you try to marry a lazy man, you will suffer. I'm telling you, you will suffer. So because a lot of guys, they consider their certificates and they see many or most of their friends who are doing this menial job as maybe dirty persons and all of that. Money doesn't have color. When that money comes, you start doing things that you don't even know. If it's time to work the money, and if it's time to dress up, you dress it, clean your body, do everything. You can do everything with that money, no matter what. And these guys who are lazy, if you see their nails, they are very clean. And you know what? If they they dress up after begging money from people, if they dress up, man, you feel like you're going to heaven. If you don't marry him, oh, everything is just gone wrong. I bet you, my sister, before you marry a man, check him out. Check if he's that kind of a person who hustles. If it's not, because our country we live today, especially Cameroon, Africa as a whole, we don't depend on that. We shouldn't depend on our certificates, because if you do that, you'll be in shock. So try as much as know this guy. Can he really take care of me? Like, I'm a lady, I'm not really exposed to some kind of work. Like if they say digging of a well, or maybe doing carpentry, doing There are some jobs that at least they are mostly common and it's not for women. A woman can't do such a job now. So at least if a man cannot even afford to do that, you can see the guy from his hustling spirit. Know that no, this guy is a serious guy and he loves me, and we can go through it no matter the fact that he's not up to, maybe he doesn't have money, like, or he doesn't have a collar job. That shouldn't hinder you from getting married to the person. You can as well go ahead and get married to the person. That's if the person is not lazy. Yeah, it's better to get married to a guy who earns at least, even his 5,000 francs a week. Yeah, you should be able to have 5,000 francs a week at least, rather than looking for a guy whom all he knows. And those kind of guys, they love to spend. If you go in for that kind of a man, you will suffer, because even if you are that kind of woman who is hardworking, when you come there, he will want to be extorting money from you each time. Some of them even go ahead to ask a lady to borrow them money. Yeah, I've seen that kind of a guy who asks, please borrow me money, a lazy guy, and he comes and say, borrow me money. That money you are borrowing, he will never give you the money back. Yeah, so if you have that kind of a guy, you can die with suffer. Not to talk of having a child or having kids for him. You're just dead. Some of them, they'll even marry you and take you to their family house, and they don't even have time. Girls, please be very, very vigilant. Be very careful with the kind of decisions and husbands you make. Even the Bible talks about a lazy person. He says there's no food for a lazy person. So be wise and make adequate or good decisions for yourself, for a better future and a better marriage. Okay, sweeties, the next point is that you shouldn't go in for a stingy man. Some guys are damn stingy. You can't imagine that you're in a relationship with somebody and somebody will never say, lady, babes, this is, take this and manage, buy something for yourself, take care of yourself. At least once in a while. I've heard of guys, one of my friends was telling me, a lot of them have told me that, see, I love this guy, the guy loves me, but there's one thing, the guy is so stingy, he doesn't give me anything, like everything I do it by myself. He doesn't even care how I live and all of that. He doesn't even ask anything that concerns, like he has to offer something to me. And I was like, what kind of a man is this? You are a man and you are this stingy. If you are stingy to somebody you call your wife or your fiance, then who are you going to give to? My sister, don't even try to go in for that kind of a man, because your family is at risk. It's at risk. Yeah, he'll just be like, even your own, even you yourself, even your children, he'll be like, what kind of, why do you want to make them this food? Why do you want to dress them like this? Why do you want to feed them like this? Why do you want them to go to this kind of school? Whereas the money is even there. Most of these people who are even stingy are people who have the money, but they are so, in fact, they are stingy to a fault. So girls, please, if you come across this kind of a man, run and never return. So please, guys, if you are this kind of a person who is stingy, it will not help you. At least now it's good. Giving too helps you to have more. Why would you be keeping the money from the person you say you love? Who do you want to give the money again? So girls, if you find any of this kind of character, like especially this one, that the guy is stingy, no. There are some guys, they will prefer that they take you out, they buy you food. Yeah, if you're hungry, they'll say, come on, let's go to Jeffobi, come on, let's go to any snack around, let's go to Continental, let's go to here and let's go here. You people come, you eat, and that's all. Even to give you transport to go back, at least try to even show manners now. At least some of these characters is just like showing man. You can just say, please just take this and pay your transport. Even if it's 500 or 1,000, the girl is going to appreciate. Not that you took a girl out and you don't even have a car to go and see the girl off. You cannot give the girl even it's 1,500. Please, can you take this and pay your transport? No. You just be like, okay, see you next time. And that's the person you want to marry. It's not like you want to show the person money or you have money. No, they are little. Even if you don't want to show the girl that, or you want to see if the girl loves you or not. It's not that you shouldn't give at all. And give her a little. Give her, even if it's small, show her some interest. I mean, show her that you can ask, or you can give somebody. And then there are some of them that, okay, I remember there's a story. Please let me just say something about the story. There's a guy whom I had, like, he was like a suitor to me, and he's one of my subscribers, but he hardly even watched my videos. He just told me that he doesn't have time to go to YouTube. Like, he just wants to support me. Okay, he wanted to marry me. And when he came, okay, he came from abroad. When he came, now I was with a friend. Then that day he came, went and saw him off. A lot were about four of us who took him at the roadside. So when we were going, he called me and he was like, how we chat, and then he was like, do I have some money there? Let me give my friend. I was like, I said, I just said no, I don't have any money with me. He said, okay. He called my friend and gave my friend money, 5,000. Then he left me, he didn't give me anything. I was so glad, like, yeah, this guy, he should be a serious guy. With that, I saw some seriousness in him. And my friend was like, the guy gave him money, means that the one he gave you is much. I just laughed. But I had some peace in me that he can even give to somebody. He doesn't want to show me and he wants to see, maybe he wants to see my character. And I was not materialistic. I was not like, no, he has not given me, no, no. I was just so happy that he gave somebody. At least that's not stinginess now. At least that one, he used a lot of sense. That one, if that was the only problem, then I think we could make a very good couple. But that was not the only issue anyways. So at least try to give to somebody, even if you don't want to show her that you don't want to show her money, or you want to see her reaction. Even if it's 50 francs, and the same guy I'm talking about, there are times he will come and say, take this 15,000 francs, take this 10,000 francs, buy something for yourself, maybe buy even your oil, anything. And I'll be like, okay, thank you. But the guys that I'm telling you, please ladies, be very careful, oh, because if you go and fall in this kind of shock, there will be nobody to remove you from it. So be very wise as a lady. Okay, beautiful girls, beautiful single ladies, the last point I'm going to tell you is that you shouldn't marry a man who loves too much sex, who loves to talk more about sex. Like, there are some guys who are so disgusting, you know. Everything they talk about is sex in a relationship. You are talking to a lady that you want to marry, but you are so concerned with sex here and there. I mean, you don't know, girls, there are times, especially when you have made up your mind you want to marry and somebody is coming. You say you want to marry somebody, yes, but for you to be talking, for you to be planning how the future, how the marriage is going to work, everything you're talking is about sex. You cannot imagine that you're asking a guy, somebody that you want to marry, that was the best thing you like. The person will say, my best thing I like on earth is sex. What kind of attitude is that? How can you say the best thing you like is sex? There are some guys who are like that. Ladies, please let us be very careful with the kind of men we marry. Because tomorrow, if you happen to get married to this kind of a man, it will not just be a weakness part. Like, it's not just going to be like human. We are human. Like, you just did something maybe out of maybe somebody you've had interest on, maybe somebody whom you became lost after. But if you are that kind of a person, the other person that can just be messing up anywhere. Yeah, I know of men whom they just mess up. I mean, they just have sex anyhow. Like, I'm like, I saw you with this. I hope that is not what you are doing with this person. And before I know it, that's what you're doing with the person. I saw this person. I'm like, I hope that's not what you're doing with this person. Before you know it, that's what the person is doing. Who calls himself a married person? So most of these people, don't try to be cajoled. Like, they shouldn't cajole you with words, with handsomeness, with how they dress. No, try to look at the beauty inside. Because if you try it, you're going to be like, maybe you are the first wife, the one in the house, but you have about 20 others. You cannot imagine, there are men who are married and they have slept after. There are women, they have slept with over 40 girls, 30, 20 girls. It happens, and it happens. Because before you know it, you want to tell your friend about somebody that is guy. This man looks so immature, he love, why is he doing this? And you'll be like, did he do that? Did he try that on you? You say, yeah, he said he did it on me. My friend said, see, everywhere you're just saying, and before you know it, somebody be saying that I did it. Especially those ones who have money. So please be very, very careful. During courtship, you should know who you're marrying. You should know who you're going in for. These are some of the things that a lot of people don't tell people. Like, they just feel that it's something so small, there's no need to say it. But please, if you see that kind of a guy during courtship, all the person talks about is sex. At least if you want, say, you should be talking about sex as somebody that you just met, a girl that you don't have any future with, because sex is something that you people will have until when you get married. Why would you focus on that? I remember when I was courting my husband, I was the first person that brought the idea of sex, like discussing about sex. And he was not like he was so surprised, but he behaved like he was so matured. Like, immediately I said it and we discussed it maturely. But some guys, they will start telling you, hey, if the first time, as you have said that, let me check, or let me think, or yes, I will marry you. The next thing is about sex. The next discussion is about sex. You ask him, what do you like most? He's going to tell you that the best thing he loves on earth is sex. How can you ever say that? And you say you love the guy? No matter the huge appetite you have for the sex, my sister, the sex is not something that you eat. When you get married, you know that sex is something that is even at times is even work. Be very careful and be mindful of who you call your husband or you choose as a husband, because some of these men, I mean, they are mad. Yeah, so they are really, they are not, I mean, they don't do well. So be very careful, make a right decision, make a right choice. Number one, don't marry a man who considers your past a lot. Number two, don't marry a lazy man. Number three, don't marry a stingy man. Number four, don't marry a man who loves too much of sex. Yeah, you might not have had sex with a person, but from the way the person talks, see, I don't know, I get so irritated when I hear people saying everything he discusses about, and I'm just like, I beg, just leave that one to go. So please, guys, sit up as well, guys. You shouldn't just be on the part of the ladies. Guys, sit up. Sit up, sit up. So ladies, if they tell you, if he happens to be talking about sex, and you cannot understand that now that we are not even married, everything is about sex. When the two of us will be together, is that sex not going to be something else? Is that not going to be his point of concern all his life? When he gets married to you, are not even you, and those kind of people, if you try, I quite remember I didn't have such opportunities, but I had my own way of looking at a husband. Yeah, I had my own way of looking at who will be my husband or who I love. So this kind of issues, I didn't have the opportunity, but when I hear people talk, and from my own experience, I realize that there's still a lot to be talked about, especially with issues like this. So don't try to be fooled around, or somebody will come and tell you that this or that. Try to make it, because it's your own future. It's your future we are talking about here. Yeah, so if you marry a man who just wants to keep you in the house, and tomorrow he cares about other ladies, you see a man, he has a very beautiful wife. The wife is so pretty, she's so beautiful, yet he just does it with his wife then just to satisfy her, so that she will not think. But if you know what he does outside, is madness. That's because during course you were so concerned with his money, you were so concerned with his handsomeness, and that's what drove you into that mess. Yeah, it's because of your own selfish interest, and that's what you're suffering now of. So please, don't say the only thing I don't like about him is that he loves so much sex. It's not like I don't say I'm not condemning sex, so I'm not condemning sex, but there is this way that you need to know, because if you don't know, tomorrow you are the one who will cry. You are the one who will cry. Yeah. Okay guys, thank you very much. I have come to the end of this video, and you've heard my points, and I love you so much. I love the girls, the ladies so much. I love the guys as well so much. I pray that you listen to this voice and you make the right decisions. So this is the end of the video. If you find the video interesting, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. You can as well share, and I would like to hear your comments in the comment section. Please, whatever you think that you can add, or another points that you think that it's so hot or nice that a lady needs to avoid in a man, or if she sees it in a man she needs to avoid it, please, you can also hit it down on the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. I love you all.